Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Unpopular Opinion. I am your devil's advocate, Robert Williams, aka The Free Will, and today I got with me my man, Mr. Carl Hughes, aka Poppy Cozy, aka Cozy Cuts. Let the audience know what you do, man.
Let me see. You know, I'm a man of many things. Cut hair. I go by Cozy Cuts. That's the name of my barber business. I'm also a co-owner of Male's Hair Care product hairline. That sounds good. It's called Gold Drip. We make all natural male hair care products for your beard, for your waves, for curls, all for men. Because, you know, ladies, they have all their products. They got shea moisture, etc., olive oil, all that stuff. But the men, we don't really got nothing.
We don't. We got to be out here hot dog.
You know what I'm saying? We got nasty boo-boo Murrays. We got you feel me? We got the boo-boo sporting waves. But nah, Gold Drip is all natural. I'm talking about castor oil, all that stuff that y'all may pay like $9, $10 for a bottle. Castor oil, tea tree oil, all of that is in our products.
What's your prices for your products, my man?
Okay, so check me out. We have our beard oil right here. This stimulates hair growth, creates moisture, prevents dandruff, all the good stuff that you want for your beard. I see you lacking a little bit, my brother. But
hey man, it's all right. It's okay.
Don't worry. I know you're trying to catch up.
It's coming. Hey, my time is coming, all right? Don't even worry about me.
But check this out over here. Check this out. So the beard oil, that is only $9. Mm-hmm. So for $9, you get all the products that you would buy to, have beard goals or whatever, castor oil, tea tree oil, all in one, and it smells great. And then we have our all-natural pomade. So usually guys who want to get wavy, boom, shwim. Usually guys who want to get wavy buy our pomade. Our pomade all natural has beeswax, shea butter, coconut oil, all of that for $5. You know what I'm saying? All natural. And then
only $5,
bro. And then right here is our hair butter. This is a dual product. Dual product means it's good for two things. That's for the hair and for the beard. All right, it stimulates hair growth. It's good for waves. It's good for scalp moisturization. Prevents dandruff. All of that.
I'm not gonna lie, I might cop that one.
Look, listen, bro. It'll get you right. Your hair's already mad long, but it'll get you right.
I need to get up here, man. You see, I'm lacking.
Heavy.
All right, I'll take that.
But our dual product, that's $12. It's $12 because not only is it a great product that works, but it's good for two things. You know what I'm saying?
So basically, you're getting two things for $6 and the price one for $12. That's all that is. Mm-hmm. But thank you, my brother. He's going to be joining us for today's episode. So I'm very interested on what this man got to say. Woo! We ready. You ready? We ready. All right. We'll be back after this.
Cool.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, this is The Unpopular Opinion. I am your devil's advocate, Robert Williams, a.k.a. The Free Will. I got my mains. A1 since day one. We got Big Bobby.
Yo.
We got Dogs.
What up, y'all?
And then joining us on our panel today, you already saw him in the intro, we got Poppy Cozy. We got That So Raven. Hey, That's So Raven. And then we got Miss Hilda. Miss Hilda. Hey, Miss Hilda got Miss Hilda. Hey, Miss Hilda. Okay, I'm done. So, this is how hey man, I'm so happy to be back. I don't understand. We ain't been recording like 3 weeks, so I'm happy to be here. This is great, man.
Don't tell them all our information like that.
Today's episode is going to be HBCUs versus PWIs. So, we actually have a student who attended the HBCU today. Miss Hilda. And PWI.
Ooh. Sorry, I didn't know. She actually did both. Yeah, I did both.
Oh, you did both?
Yes.
Well, never mind. She's speaking for both crowds.
I ain't even gonna lie to you. I went to a HBCU for 6 weeks.
Hey, that still counts. I don't care what nobody say. It still counts. Our first question for today. Black and minority students are more supportive of each other at HBCUs. Do we agree or disagree?
That's a fact.
You sure?
I kind of agree. Actually, I agree.
More supportive at HBCUs?
Mm-hmm. Black and minority students are more supportive of each other at HBCUs.
I think so.
I'm gonna say no.
No? All right.
So I'll definitely say that I agree with that because you don't have a choice. It's not really like you have other people to support you, so you're going to support your own. So when you have a community, the proximity just plays a factor. You cannot support anybody else but your own. So that's what makes it a fact.
Bobby?
Okay, I agree with that, but with the small population of black people, you're going to go to every event. Like, let's say, like the Alps had a pageant last night, and everybody was there. Like everybody was there because we going to support our own because who else want to do it?
And you're talking about with the PWI.
PWI, yeah.
Okay. I agree with both though, because one, I do agree with him when you are in a predominantly white college, you kind of try to, you know, all the blacks are like, oh shit, you're here, like, you know, they try to come together. But also in HBCUs, just in, I personally never went to an HBCU, but I've been to like fam homecoming and stuff, and just in being for FSU versus fam homecoming, like you said, you don't have anything but to support each other because, and I feel like when you're around that, like you said, like-minded people, it just works. Like the fam community itself, and that's one of the biggest HBCUs in the country, they're like a big ass just like family. Like everybody knows everybody, everybody supports everybody. Of course, we're human. Everybody's not gonna like everybody regardless of the color that you are. But I do feel like in a community where you feel like everybody looks like you, everybody thinks like you tend to be a little bit more supportive because of that.
Okay.
And like to touch on your point, like when I was at my PWI and we had like our BSU community, it kind of felt forced because we are the only ones that look like each other. So it's kind of like regardless of what we do, I have to move with these people because it's more like of a survival tactic.
Right.
But when you're at an HBCU, there's so much diversity. You see so many, although we all may look the same, we have so many different backgrounds and so many different ideas, and there's so much diversity within our minorities and black people that it's like you're gravitating towards more like-minded people because it's not, oh, we just look alike, so now we have assumed responsibilities and assumed shared experiences. It's actually, oh, this person, their values, their morals, they align with mine, and that's beyond our skin tone.
Damn, you took all my words.
So you're usually the devil's advocate, right?
Yeah.
That's your intro. A free real devil's advocate, right? So I'm gonna play devil's advocate and I'm gonna disagree. The reason why is because...
So you gonna take my role?
For 2 seconds, 3 seconds.
Go ahead.
The reason why is because I feel no matter where you go, you know, black people tend to have that crab in a barrel mentality. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're doing a hustle. You get what I'm saying? Whether your hustle's like making plates, cutting hair, or something like that. You know, like let's say you have the same goal, like let's say you're at Howard Law, you have the same goal, but people still hating on you because you at the top of the class or something like that. And these are other black law students, you get what I'm saying? So even here, you know what I'm saying, at a PWI, the black community is still that crab and barrel. I don't think everyone's supporting each other. It's like 50-50.
I definitely see that. I feel like more with PWIs, it's definitely more of a crabs in the barrel mentality. From being, you know, at Howard and just being around those people, you don't see it as much. But I think everyone's striving to be like that token black person and be accepted with the whites, the blacks, like wherever they're at a PWI. When you're with black people, you're already accepted you're black.
But I want to challenge that because every time I hear that, it actually makes me cringe because I feel like to put the crabs in the barrel mentality on black people in particular is kind of ignorant because I feel like all people, no matter what your race is, where you're coming from, people in proximity are always going to want to be better than each other. It is not specific to black people that we are the only ones that are going to hate on each other and shit on each other and try to be above each other. We are not, like, we're not unique in that. Because look at any other community. The whites want to be on top of each other. The Hispanics want to be on top of each other. We are not specific in that.
PWIs provide the same educations as HBCUs.
Wait, I don't like that question.
You don't have to like it.
No, I don't like the way that it's phrased.
It's phrased the way it's supposed to be.
Specific on what you're asking. Are you asking that the content is the same? Are you asking that they are providing the same space for education? Like, what exactly does that question mean?
Let me rephrase it. It's not really a question. It's just a statement, and we're going to talk about it. So again, PWIs provide the same education as HBCUs.
Okay.
I disagree. The reason why I disagree is because the resources, well, at least when I went to Howard, the resources at Howard are minuscule compared to what we got at UCF. The water fountains at Howard don't even work. You know what I'm saying? It's as bad as that. You know what I'm saying? On top of that, the tuition costs more, so maybe that has something to do with it because it's a private school. But I definitely feel like at UCF we have a lot more opportunities, a lot more things to utilize when it comes to like tutoring, things like that, that at other schools we may not have.
Do we think that the lack of resources is what kind of makes them more willing to help each other out at HBCUs than when it comes to PWIs?
Yeah, definitely brings them together more.
Okay. Oh, y'all don't want to argue about this, so nobody else got no thoughts? That was pretty.
I think content-wise, just in the public education system, we don't learn about our history and our culture.
Big facts.
We're taught the white man's perception on our history. So I know one thing that when I was deciding in between an HBCU or a PWI, that was a big thing for me because I felt like in an HBCU, there's a lot more classes that pertain to who I am. Versus, at a PWI, they might have African American study, but you have a 35-year-old white lady teaching it. So when it comes from someone who understands, and like when your teachers are people who look like you and your professors or someone, you know what I mean? I just feel like we take in that knowledge better because we understand it better, and it's not coming from someone who doesn't know. So I mean, of course, college content is, but I think in history and in just what you want to learn about yourself, I would think that HBCU's content is a little bit just more directed towards us.
Can I support that more? One thing I also noticed is at Howard, they drill it. That's their first year class that teaches you about the history of Howard. You gotta learn the alma mater and all that stuff. The whole song. They drive that Howard culture into you. That's why they bleed HU. You know what I'm saying? And UCF, we don't got that culture. Intro to whatever. You don't really learn nothing about the history of UCF at graduation. Did you know the alma mater when it was? No. But everyone sings it at a Howard graduation.
Yeah, that's at every HBCU. It's actually a mandate that you take that first year. It's called Intro to whatever of that school, because they want you to know why you're here, what happened here, what weight it had in history, and what you being a student there means. Because each and every single HBCU has a unique history to itself, and they're standing on nothing but that history. So you have to know it, and it really does give you that pride and that connection to the school. Because I only went to Morgan State for a semester, and I still will claim it till I die. Like that, I am a bear for life. Like,
oh, my grandpa's a bear.
Yeah, and even to this day, like the IOTAs, that is their alpha chapter. So every time I see an IOTA, like we're drawn together off of that. So those types of things, especially for me, I'm the first American in my family, so it was really important to me to educate myself as much as possible of a Black American history and Black American culture, because I was raised in it and I do reap a lot of benefits from it. That's a whole another conversation that hopefully we'll get to one day. But it was very important to me because in the diaspora of Blackness, it's so easy for outsiders to come in and say, and to discredit Black culture and just be like, oh, well, they don't really have a culture, they don't have a language to themselves, they don't have something identifiable or whatever they want to say, which is all BS, it's not true. But it was really important to me to tie that back to something and really have something solid to be like, no, this is what this is, and this is important. And I think that everybody, even if you don't graduate from an HBCU, I think the content, like you were saying, is very important at an HBCU, because you learn so many things from another perspective. I never knew that race was an invented
it's a socioeconomic system.
And I had no idea, because if no one tells you that, then how would you know that? We love to say that we live in a post-racial society, which is not even kind of true. Because the first thing when you look at somebody that you notice is race, that is science. So how do we live in this post-racial society, and how do we get into these situations where we are having the HBCU versus PWI? Why do our HBCUs not have the resources that our PWIs have? All of those conversations that stem from what was that?
I said lack of government funding, and they're trying to shut them all down because they want to discredit the historic value that they all have. But
exactly. So then it all stems it stems from somewhere, and you're not going to get that information anywhere than HBCU, because that's what they came from.
Even to go on that, how she said she was the first American in her family, I think that going to an HBCU can also build your pride of being Black. Because I know a lot of people struggle with, just in growing up in America, you're not like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Not a lot of people are like that. You have to grow into that, and I feel like going to an HBCU can really enhance your pride in yourself and who you are, and just from seeing all these successful people around you that look just like you, that I think that builds a lot of character, because college is not only about education, but it also builds your character for the rest of your adult life. So I feel like that's a big thing, how you said that, like you learned about yourself.
So this is a two-parter. Listen carefully. Students who attend HBCUs, students attend HBCUs to claim their blackness, while students at PWIs ignore their blackness.
You know what though? There's some people that actually do. You know, I feel like I see both sides. You know, when I come into PWI, there's so many people that are black and they're just not claiming it. They don't want to be black. They want to be from a different country. They want to be, oh, I'm like foreign. I'm this. I'm not black. Oh, I fit in here with the white people. So I'm different. I definitely see that at PWI, and it's sad.
No one else.
It's sad.
Because that's a real
I
big
think
thing.
that's a personality thing though. Like, I think it means either you can, because some people can go to a HBCU who has, okay, me being biracial, I've personally never been to an HBCU, but if I were to go to an HBCU, would it help my blackness or would it make me feel less black than who I am because I'm, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's just based off of experience and perception and yourself, really, because some people can go to a PWI and embrace their blackness because it's so little found there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can go to a PWI and be absorbed by what you're surrounded by and, you know, bring it back in because you don't want to seem like the token black person.
Yeah.
But there's also a thing that I've seen at other schools like the one that we've been to. So there'll be like students who they'll come in and they've just been taught hang out with this crowd of people because again, we as fellow black people, we all know for some reason we're always trying to sit at a white table instead of just making a table for our own. Right? We've been conditioned to do that, and the few of us that break out the habit, we try to bring more people to come over, but it's still that mindset that if we buy white, we do white. If we are around white-related things, that makes us more better, higher in status and everything, right? And there's a lot of students that I've seen who have gone to who've gone to our schools or just other PWIs in general, where they'll go there and they're just like, man, I'm doing this for undergrad because I want to have fun. Then when they go to HBC, they go to an HBCU for like their master's or their doctorate, and now they're a whole different person. They're pro-black this, I'm all about my blackness, da-da-da-da-da, and it's like, well, where was that 4 years ago? So that's the first half of that question. As far as you go to an HBCU just to claim your blackness or to attain it, whereas a PWI you ignore it. And then another thing that I wanted to add too is sometimes people ignore it for a survival tactic. A lot of times at PWIs we disassociate with each other because we're classifying each other already.
Right.
Whether it be through skin tone, whether it be through how we carry ourselves, it can be like, oh, look at all these people. They all light skinned, they all this, and they're all in this organization. Let me not be around them because I don't want to associate myself with that. Or it could be something completely different where I want to be around these group of people. I don't want to be around them because they look like they represent this. They look like they represent that. I want to be that kind of black and not that kind of black.
Okay, so.
Sorry, go ahead.
Alright, so I understand where you're coming from, but I don't think it's always like that. So let's say, okay, there are two clubs, right? A white club and a black club. I'm still hanging out with my boys and all that, but I'm in the white club for better opportunities. It's not because I don't want to I don't like them like that, but I'm trying to do this for me. I'm trying to college to work with myself and progress. But the club you're in, they're not doing anything to help you progress.
Do you not feel like our generation, just from, I know what you were saying, how we sit at the white table, higher status, stuff like that, but I feel like our generation is breaking that mold. And that's how our parents thought and our grandparents thought and so forth and so on. But I feel like this generation, there's so many black-owned businesses, black entrepreneurship, black, to where I don't necessarily feel like I have to sit at the white table anymore because we're building our own now. And I feel like that stems from our generation. We took that back. You know what I'm saying? We reclaimed that. Like, nah, I'm not going to go to this PWI, get a 9-to-5, work for the white man, and that's it. No, we're looking for something more. We're building our own now. So I feel like that kind of changes that perception in PWIs because black people's mindset is changing, at least in our generation. So I feel like now black people have the ability to go to a PWI and still make their own table, create their own.
And to build on that point, like I really and truly, sorry, there's a lot of things that were going on. I'm trying to talk to everybody. So, like when you were saying that you would have joined the white club over the black clubs because there were certain opportunities there. So when I went to an HBCU, it was really just about like education. Like I was just trying to educate myself and learn as much as I could about everything that I could. But when I went to a PWI, that's when I actually started fighting for what I wanted. That's when I became more active because it was that smaller group. So it's like if I didn't see the opportunities that I wanted, and I saw that other people were being offered those opportunities or afforded those opportunities, so I bring that stuff back home, and it's just like, all right, so how are we now gonna have those same opportunities? Because there's no reason why the white group has opportunities that we don't have. Bring that back and have those opportunities for us, because you have to build that. Like at a certain point, there has to be that responsibility of like, I'm doing this for me and I'm bettering myself and I'm just trying to do good for me. Like that becomes selfish after a certain point. Like you have to look out for the other people. Like you have to bring it back home, and you have to make sure that everybody is like the same way that you're looking for that opportunity, somebody else is looking for that opportunity, and some people don't have that like luxury to just assimilate to a different group. Like I have friends that have like deep Southern accents and things like that, and they can't just talk to staff and talk to whatever and talk their way around. So I just feel like just bringing that back and like, that's like
PWIs can be inspiring.
So
Go ahead. It's gonna be the last one. We gotta wrap it up.
So you talked about how like black students who go to PWIs, that's them like forgetting about, you know,
Ignoring their blackness.
But you know, sometimes these black people are raised up in communities where there's not a lot of black people. You know what I'm saying? And those are the ones that join the white frats. You know what I'm saying? Those are the ones that go for those SGA positions. And sometimes we tend to look at them like, yo, he ain't black, he ain't from the hood, he forgot about where he came from. But you know, it's really what that individual may have been raised in. You know what I'm saying? How that individual was raised. But going to a PWI, now he may have the opportunity to meet some black people. You get what I'm saying? Maybe bring some black people over, or she bring some black people over into that side, that SGA side, if we want to go that route as an example. You get what I'm saying? We did that. For sure.
We did that. We did that.
So in conclusion,
all in all, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you choose to get your education from, get your education. If your education is important to you, pursue it by any means. If you feel the need to go to an HBCU, please, as far as our fellow black people and other minorities, even those who aren't black, go and support our HBCUs, because believe it or not, they are trying to shut a lot of them down. They really are. They are not getting as much funding or as much support as they think they are. And for our fellow black and minority students who attend PWIs, all of our organizations, our Divine Nines that we do have in here, y'all can shout out yourselves. Whatever, you know.
Hey, shout out to the Ice Cold Brothers, the First Brothers, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated, A5.
There you go. I had to sneak it in. I had to for them. But don't discredit what the black people are doing in your schools for these other public white institutions. The ones that are there trying to make a difference is because they want to make sure that their voices are still heard and not echoed out just through whatever the school is trying to accomplish by achieving their own personal agenda. So again, wherever black people are, support them. Wherever your people are, support them. Because at the end of the day, we all we got. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another episode of The Unpopular Opinion. We got Big Bobby. We got Dubs. We got Mr. Papa Cozy, aka Carl Hughes. We got Miss Raven. We got Miss Hilda. Thank y'all, and we'll see y'all next time. Peace.